In the bustling world of competitive sports, we are introduced to the male protagonist, Shen, a figure of remarkable poise and talent. Beyond his striking appearance lies the disciplined heart of a professional sharpshooter, a dedicated athlete who serves as the esteemed captain of his university's premier team. His entire being is consumed by a singular, burning ambition: to stand atop the Olympic podium and secure a victory for his nation. This all-encompassing passion for his sport has, however, cast a shadow over his personal interactions, rendering his demeanor in everyday life notably detached and aloof. He struggles with a peculiar and profound challenge. He frequently forgets the names and even the faces of those he meets, a condition significant enough to warrant regular consultations with a psychiatrist to navigate the complexities of his social world. Our narrative then shifts to the female lead, Tang, a spirited and ambitious young woman striving to make her mark as a reporter for a media agency. Her big break arrives in the form of a critical assignment: to conduct a live stream coverage of the National Shooting Championship. The success of this venture is her ticket to securing a permanent, coveted position as a regular reporter. Her professional journey leads her to the university's shooting range, where she crosses paths with Zhang, an affable member of Shen's elite team. The team is immediately thrown into disarray by an unforeseen complication. The relentless humidity of the rainy season has caused their precision pistols to jam. It is Shen who steps forward to resolve the crisis, his innate talent and profound understanding of the equipment allowing him to expertly rectify the malfunction, driven by an unwavering determination to claim the national championship title at any cost. When Tang's eyes first meet Shen's, a wave of recognition washes over her, unveiling a shared history. They were once high school classmates. During those formative years, Tang had nurtured a quiet, heartfelt crush on Shen, often going out of her way to support him, even saving him from academic trouble by generously sharing her meticulously kept notes. In a moment that had once meant the world to her, Shen had told her, "I can never forget you." Yet in a cruel twist of fate, the present-day Shen shows no flicker of recognition, failing to recall even her name and treating her with a strange, impersonal coldness. As the championship match commences and Tang begins her live broadcast, her presence inexplicably becomes a source of intense irritation for Shen, fracturing his legendary concentration. A nagging feeling that he knows her gnaws at him, yet her identity remains frustratingly out of reach. During a break, he confronts her, his request as blunt as it is painful. He asks her to leave the arena, insisting that her mere presence is adversely affecting his performance. Though deeply wounded, Tang cannot abandon her professional duty. She confides in a friend about a recurring dream she has, featuring a mysterious shooter identified by the number 7 whom she is cheering on. In a startling turn within the dream, this figure turns and points his pistol directly at her. The significance of this vision is amplified when she notices the number 7 emblazoned on Shen's competition shirt. A new character enters the scene, Ling, the charismatic heir to a vast corporate empire. He attends the shooting competition with a dual purpose: to promote his family's brand and to prove his own worth to his demanding father. Adapting to Shen's request, Tang moves her live streaming operation to the audience stands, where she incidentally meets Ling. However, Shen spots her once more and his focus shatters again, resulting in a poorly executed shot. A perceptive teammate, Zio, noticing the correlation, gently persuades Tang to leave the vicinity. With Ling's assistance, Tang continues her work from a different location, but another fleeting glimpse of her is enough for Shen to voluntarily take a break from his own game. Witnessing his declining scores with a heavy heart, Tang makes the difficult decision to terminate her live stream and depart, an act of professional sacrifice for which her boss severely reprimands her, threatening to revoke her chance at a permanent position. It is Ling who provides a clever solution. Tang subsequently positions herself just outside the arena's direct line of sight, allowing her to continue broadcasting without disturbing Shen. Freed from this distraction, Shen rallies magnificently, defeats his rivals, and secures first place. Later, at her boss's insistence, Tang attempts to interview the champion, but Shen ignores her completely and walks away. Overwhelmed by a surge of past emotions, Tang impulsively calls out, asking if he has remembered her at all over the years, unaware that her microphone is still live and broadcasting her vulnerable query. In a swift, calculated move, Shen removes his jacket and drapes it over her mobile phone, effectively ending the broadcast, and departs without a word. Tang's boss chastises her yet again, but a new theory forms in his mind. Could Shen be her ex-boyfriend? Seeing a potential angle, he instructs her to dig up some sensational gossip. In a parallel development, Ling approaches Shen for a product endorsement, which Shen initially refuses. However, a growing intuition that he might indeed know Tang leads him to unexpectedly agree to grant her the interview she sought. During their formal conversation, Tang cautiously probes with questions about their school days, but Shen deflects them, stating that a sharpshooter must always look forward, focusing solely on his target and never glance back. Disappointed, Tang leaves the interview, her mind drifting to a cherished memory from school when Shen had protectively saved her from a stray basketball, vowing, "I will always protect you." The contrast between that boy and the man who has forgot everything is a painful one. Meanwhile, Shen is seen contemplatively looking at an old watch, a token from a past he cannot fully grasp. Xiao, a teammate who has always been by Shen's side, feels a pang of jealousy seeing the attention he paid to Tang during the interview. As fate would have it, their paths cross again on a flight, with Tang seated directly in front of Shen. Her short stature makes it difficult for her to lift her luggage into the overhead compartment, and Shen, despite his cold exterior, wordlessly assists her. Later at the airport, he returns an item she dropped. In a gesture of rekindled friendship, Tang offers him a small gift, but Shen firmly and coldly rejects it, stating, "We are not friends." Upon returning to her office, Tang is met with a shocking development. Her interview with Shen has gone viral. Viewers, reading between the lines, have begun speculating that the two are former lovers. Her attempts to explain the situation to her boss fall on deaf ears. When she and Shen cross paths again, he continues to ignore her. Later, Zhang engages Shen in a philosophical conversation, suggesting that just as animals are drawn to each other by scent, humans too can experience an irresistible natural attraction to another person, a phenomenon that is innate and beyond one's control. He implies that Shen's own undeniable pull towards Tang is a manifestation of this very natural law. This is followed by a celebratory party held in honor of the championship-winning sharpshooters. To everyone's surprise, Shen is in attendance, and Zhang's words about scent linger in his mind. He confronts Tang, making a peculiar observation about the consistent smell of her laundry detergent and telling her not to change it. He walks outside, and Tang, confused and concerned, follows him. She apologizes for the fake news circulating because of her interview and assumes he must be upset about the fabricated relationship rumors. Before she can elaborate, Shen abruptly stops her. At that moment, a group of enthusiastic fans approaches, seeking selfies with him. Shen appears visibly uncomfortable, and in a protective instinct, Tang grabs his hand and pulls him away from the crowd. They find themselves at a vibrant local festival. Tang longs for ice cream but lacks the money to buy any. Shen, in a quiet gesture, purchases it for her. They spend the evening enjoying the festivities, their shared laughter and ease leading onlookers to believe they are a couple. They partake in a festival tradition and receive fortune-telling candies. Later at home, Tang discovers her candy carries a message. "It is impossible to separate you two." The words fill her with a secret joy. She confesses to a friend that despite Shen being a completely changed person, her heart still races uncontrollably in his presence. During a subsequent assignment, Tang is creating a blog about the shooting team's fitness regimen when Zhang suffers a sudden fall. In his absence, Shen is tasked with completing the coordination. While giving an interview, Shen leans close to Tang's ear to hear a question, and his proximity causes her to lose her balance. He catches her, preventing a fall, and in that moment they find themselves suspended in a close, intimate embrace. Shen, seemingly as surprised as she is, admits, "I don't know why, but I feel towards you as if I'm addicted," before walking away, leaving Tang utterly astonished. Her friend later comments on their evident chemistry, wishing they would become a couple. A photo of Shen and Tang at the festival subsequently goes viral, convincing fans they are officially dating. While this brings Tang some online abuse, the reality is that their relationship remains undefined. Consequently, both the team coach and Tang's boss issue a joint statement denouncing the rumors as false. The coach takes Shen aside, expressing concern over his recent distraction and advising him not to let personal attachments jeopardize his career. One rainy evening, Shen finds Tang getting drenched and shelters her under his umbrella. Yet in this protective act, he delivers a painful message. He wishes to create distance between them. He returns the fortune-telling candy and explains that she has become a distraction he cannot afford, stating that his shooting career is paramount. Deeply hurt, Tang accuses him of being selfish, just as he was in the past, and tells him she wishes he could understand how much he has hurt her. As she walks away, upset, Ling offers her a ride in his car. Mistaking her distress for anxiety over public opinion, he takes her to a bar. There, an emotionally overwhelmed Tang drinks too much and begins talking incoherently about Shen. She opens the fortune-telling candy Shen had returned. Its message reads, "Their fates are intertwined." Ling takes a photo of the candy, with Tang's handbag visible in the background, and posts it on social media. When Shen sees the post, and after a warning from Zhang about Ling's playboy reputation, he rushes out to find her. He locates them, warns Ling to stay away from Tang, and then confronts a furious Tang. She throws his own words back at him, asking why he is following her if he wanted distance. In a moment of raw honesty, Shen confesses, "I wanted to remove you from my life because I was getting distracted from shooting, but I am not able to do it. What should I do?" Tang, feeling reduced to an obstacle, retorts that his mission and life goal are all that matter, and questions what her value is before walking away. We then see Shen at home, so stressed that he retreats to sleep under his bed, a childhood habit he reverts to in times of extreme tension. The next day, his psychiatrist visits him. During their session, she notices Tang's name written on a piece of paper in his room. Both the coach and the doctor begin to understand that Tang is the source of Shen's recent turmoil. Meanwhile, a corporate subplot unfolds. Ling, upon joining the team, has terminated the training collaboration with Tang's company, Hoi Lives, and transferred the business to his own firm. Tang's boss is deeply worried, prompting Tang to seek a meeting with Ling to resolve the issue. She messages him, arranging to meet away from the shooting range to avoid an encounter with Shen. As they talk, a curious Shen arrives and sees them. Spotting him, Tang immediately hides, unwilling to face him. We then see Ling demonstrating his own shooting prowess. He is naturally talented, impressing everyone with a perfect first shot, though he reveals that a long hiatus has compromised his balancing skills. When Ling remains uncooperative, Tang returns to her office disheartened, only to overhear colleagues worrying that if the contract isn't renewed, the entire team could lose their jobs. Galvanized by this, she resolves to confront Ling once more and not return without securing the deal. She finds Ling, who initially speaks to her rudely in front of others. Later in private, she pleads with him, folding her hands to reinstate the contract. Ling, seeking revenge on Shen, presents her with a condition. She must become his personal assistant, performing menial chores and coming whenever he calls. If her service pleases him, he will restore the contract. The next day during a team jog, Ling calls his personal assistant Tang and orders her to bring water. As she arrives, struggling with multiple bottles, she collides with Shen, who helps her. Ling berates her for not bringing cold water. Witnessing this, Shen is angered and tells Ling to stay away from Tang. When Ling defiantly asks why he should listen, Shen's temper flares and he physically confronts him. Later, Tang, running through the rain to bring Ling a towel, gets completely drenched. Shen tries to dry her, but she evades him, refusing to let him get close. Seizing the moment, Ling departs with Xiao, who has arrived with an umbrella, and Shen is left to give his own umbrella to Tang. Ling, seeking more excitement, decides to move into the team hostel and is assigned to Shen's room. A confrontation ensues, leading to a bet. They will settle the room dispute with a live battle game where two teams compete. The winner gets the room. Tang is also present. Ling insists she join his team and feed him information to ensure his victory, promising her the contract in return. However, by a twist of fate, a coin toss places Tang on Shen's team, not Ling's. An intense and enjoyable game ensues, culminating in Tang being the last player standing on her team against two opponents from the other. To everyone's amazement, she manages to eliminate both and win the match. Elated, Ling agrees to honor his promise. As they are leaving, Shen's foot gets caught and he falls, landing directly on top of Tang. Their lips meet in an accidental kiss, after which Tang faints. She awakens in a hospital room with Shen by her bedside. He awkwardly apologizes, stating that she fainted because of his kiss, explanation Tang finds bizarre. A doctor arrives to examine her, but Tang refuses. The doctor mistakes Shen for her boyfriend and asks him to reason with her. Shen's psychiatrist also arrives and offers to speak with Tang. After their conversation, the doctor informs Shen that Tang has some underlying emotional concerns. Later, Tang's friends and a showy Ling arrive with gifts. Shen also visits, bringing a large amount of food. When he sees an apple in Tang's mouth and learns it was from Ling, he dismisses the gifts as useless and insists she eat only the pomegranates he brought. When Tang complains about the effort required to eat them, Shen peels the pomegranate and begins feeding her himself. The next day, Shen's doctor, who has known him for years, has a long talk with Tang. During their conversation, Tang reveals her long history with Shen and her confusion over his initial coldness. The doctor explains that some time ago, Shen was in an accident, after which he developed a psychological condition that caused partial amnesia. He remembers some things but has forgotten others. Hearing this, Tang makes a conscious decision not to force her memories on him, fearing it could disrupt his crucial career. The doctor advises her to let nature take its course, suggesting that his memories might return with time. When Shen later asks the doctor about Tang, she suggests that Tang might have her own physiological issues, having lived alone for a long time. When Shen picks Tang up from the hospital, he brings her more pomegranates. He asks if she lives alone and if she has anyone like a friend who could stay with her. When she says no, Shen announces, "Okay, then I will live with you from today." Despite Tang's attempts to refuse, he is insistent. They prepare to move into a new, small but charming apartment provided to Tang by her grateful boss, who secured the contract back thanks to her efforts. The boss also sees a professional advantage, believing that Tang living with Shen will improve communication between their media channel and the shooting team. As they settle in, Tang offers Shen some instant noodles she is making, but he declines, being an athlete who avoids junk food. In a moment of forgetfulness, Tang references something from their school days, startling Shen. She is careful not to explicitly remind him of their past, hoping he will remember on his own. She promises to be a good housemate. Meanwhile, Ling challenges Xiao's position as Shen's shooting partner, boasting of his own capability and hard work. Xiao explains that a successful partnership requires not just skill, but a deep, mutual understanding, something she begins to notice developing between her and Ling. Tang fondly remembers how Shen used to give her rides to school on his bicycle, and she is delighted by the coincidence of now living with him. During a team fitness session, Xiao expects to partner with Shen, but Ling quickly steps in to become her partner instead. Tang documents their practice. On another occasion, a teammate tries to distract Shen by teasing Tang during target practice, and Ling warns her to cooperate or risk losing the contract. Reluctantly, Tang says a few words, but Shen's focus remains unbroken, and he makes a perfect shot. The coach discusses this with Shen's doctor, who notes that since cohabiting with Tang, Shen has become accustomed to her presence and is no longer easily disturbed by her. At home, a domestic scene unfolds as Tang emerges from the bathroom with an armful of products, surprising Shen with the sheer number of items required for her bath. When she goes back for a forgotten item and drops something, Shen assumes it's private, but she clarifies it's just a hairband. Despite her happiness, Tang struggles with confidence around Shen, often spilling drinks or becoming tongue-tied. One day, his simple proximity causes her to stumble backward, and she nervously tells him that his closeness, given their opposite genders, makes her too nervous. The next morning, Shen wakes early, jogs, and prepares breakfast, which brings Tang immense joy. Her boss then assigns her the difficult task of featuring Shen and Ling together on camera, pitting the famous shooter against the businessman. That evening, as Tang and Shen watch TV at home, he falls asleep with his head on her shoulder, leaving her confused. When Shen later invites her for a ride on his bicycle, she refuses. During shooting practice, Tang lies about going to the restroom and instead meets Ling, proposing that he appear in more videos with Shen to satisfy her boss and promote his own company. Tang reflects on why she becomes flustered only around Shen. She seeks advice from his doctor, who diagnoses her with an inferiority complex, seeing Shen as a flawless figure. The doctor advises her to find his weaknesses and remember he is only human. In a parallel development, Shen's friend advises him to be sweeter to Tang, as girls appreciate kindness. It is also revealed that Tang's boss and Shen's psychiatrist are actually a married couple, currently separated after a fight. On their way home from campus, Shen again pressures Tang to ride on his bicycle with him by taking her bag, forcing her to comply. At home, Tang tries to uncover Shen's vulnerabilities, recalling his old fear of horror movies. She plays one for him, but he remains unfazed, instead turning the tables with counter questions that make her nervous. He moves closer and tells her he wants to speak sweetly to her and see her happy, leaving her flustered and retreating to her room. Determined to get a reaction, she tries to disturb him while he exercises by swatting mosquitoes, but he remains patient and even informs her he has made her dinner. She marvels at his endless sweetness, wondering if he has any flaws at all, in a final attempt to tease him. She asks why he keeps staring at her, and he replies with such politeness that she is disarmed. Her anxiety about speaking in front of him leads her to a drastic solution. She slips a note under his door proposing they minimize verbal communication and use the messaging app WeChat instead. Shen, who doesn't even have the app, downloads it and tries to add her but falls asleep exhausted from the effort, leading to a sleepless night. At practice the next day, his tired and irritable state worries his friends. He asks Jang for help with WeChat and what it means when a girl suggests talking less. Jang misinterprets it as her disliking his face, angering Shen, who then blames Jang for his useless advice on talking sweetly. Jang promises more tips. Meanwhile, a new intern joins Tang's office, her brother, who is hired as her coworker. Jang then gives Shen stereotypical advice on how to impress girls, suggesting aggressive, macho tactics. When Tang visits the shooting team with the new intern, Shen attempts this approach, but it only causes her to flee nervously. She consults the psychiatrist, who suggests that singing might help her stutter as it does for some people, but Tang finds the idea impractical. Shen, learning her favorite snack, goes to the market to buy it. Upon finding her on a bridge, he awkwardly attempts the macho move, pinning her against the railing to give her the snack, but she scolds him and runs away. His friends then suggest giving her his most precious possession. While his medals are valuable, he decides on the jacket he wore during his junior championship, imbued with sentimental value. Ling then challenges Shen to a trial match, wagering that if he wins, Xiao will be his partner. Shen accepts but makes Tang his partner instead, using the opportunity to give her his special jacket. Xiao, hurt by this, tells Ling they must win. Shen coaches Tang, but she refuses to speak to him, typing all her questions on her phone. His close proximity during coaching further shatters her confidence. To overcome her stutter, Tang organizes a karaoke outing for the team. She tries to sing but is mocked for being off-key. Shen comes to her defense and Ling gives her another chance but ends up singing a song himself, impressing everyone. Shen then also stands up to support her. Later, Tang practices singing in a private cabin and Shen joins her, offering help. In the flow of singing, she doesn't realize she has begun speaking to him normally again. She confesses her stuttering problem and why she avoids talking to him. She attempts a live-streamed rap from her room but is trolled online, sinking her spirits. Shen wants to help but she avoids him. Undeterred, he takes a stick and begins tapping a light rhythm on her door. This unconventional method works, and her subsequent live stream, guided by his rhythm, becomes a hit. In a final uplifting sequence, Shen and his team visit Tang's office. The intern informs her of their arrival and she rushes down to find the team tactfully leaving her alone with Shen. They go to a gymnasium where he coaches her singing. Later on campus, he has her wear a special dress and practice shooting, a far cry from the man who once treated her with such coldness. He then sends her a friend request on WeChat, which she happily accepts, signaling a new chapter of understanding and connection between them. The narrative delves deeper into the evolving dynamic between Tang and Shen, exploring the complexities of their relationship against a backdrop of professional ambition and personal insecurities. In a heartfelt conversation with Shen's psychiatrist, Tang observes a significant shift in his demeanor, noting that he has become remarkably caring and attentive. The doctor, offering wise counsel, suggests that regardless of whether Shen's lost memories ever resurface, this positive change in his behavior is a beneficial development for their bond. This newfound warmth, however, soon leads to an unforeseen complication. Shen notices that Tang is wearing the same outfit for her live stream, and in a moment of domestic normalcy, she sets up her broadcast from their shared living area. Unbeknownst to her, a colleague from her office, a woman named Ai, is watching the stream and begins to concoct a malicious scheme. The situation escalates when Tang, after concluding her show, accidentally leaves her webcam active. Shen, who had started wearing multiple layers of clothing after a previous incident where Tang expressed annoyance at his casual attire, is seen on the still live feed. Tang, noticing his bundled-up state, tells him there was no need to wear so many clothes. In response, Shen begins to remove his shirts, and this entire private, unguarded moment is broadcast to anyone still watching. Ai, lying in wait, captures the footage. The tension is broken by the sudden arrival of Tang's brother at the apartment. He immediately spots the active webcam and alerts Tang, who swiftly shuts it off. The brother, who has quickly grown fond of Shen, begins to jovially refer to him as brother-in-law. Tang, flustered, attempts to correct him, insisting that no such relationship exists, though it becomes apparent that Shen is secretly pleased by the affectionate title. The following day, Tang discovers that Ai has filed a formal complaint against her. She defends herself to their boss, explaining that she was merely experimenting with her new rapping concept for the broadcasts. Her boss, while somewhat skeptical, gives her the benefit of the doubt. Tang's friends and her brother, however, warn her not to trust Ai, labeling her as duplicitous. Her brother vows to keep a close watch on the scheming colleague. After a few days, Tang's persistence pays off, and her boss officially approves her rapping idea for future streams. In a lighter moment, Tang goes grocery shopping with Shen and secures his agreement for a brief post-match interview following his upcoming competition. The narrative then shifts to the tense match between Shen's team and Ling's team. Both Shen and Tang perform exceptionally well in the shooting event, but a critical mistake by Ling ultimately seals Shen's victory. True to his word, after the match, Shen grants Tang the interview. During the session, a fan submits a question asking about his ideal type of girl. As Shen lists the characteristics, they align perfectly with Tang's personality, causing her to blush with a mixture of shyness and delight. Her boss is ecstatic with the day's live streaming success, which garnered record views for their channel. He personally thanks and praises Tang, and in his elation grants her a half-day off. As Tang happily sets off for lunch with Shen, her plans are abruptly interrupted by an emergency call summoning her back to the office. Her boss has received a manipulated, indecent video of her, the very clip that I had maliciously edited and sent to the company's upper management. While her boss expresses his personal belief in her innocence, he pressures her to find a way to prove the video is fabricated. Distraught, Tang confides in her brother, lamenting that she cannot easily prove her innocence because she had deleted the original recording from her old account. Her brother assures her he will find a way to uncover the truth. Meanwhile, Shen, growing concerned as he waits for Tang, arrives outside her office. Her boss, seeing him, instructs Tang to go to lunch with him. On their way, Tang is struck by sudden stomach cramps. She tries to excuse herself and leave, but Shen, perceptive as ever, deduces the cause is related to her menstrual cycle. He insists she is in no condition to go alone, and in a gesture that is both practical and profoundly caring, offers to go to the supermarket to buy sanitary pads for her, asking her to specify which kind she needs. He returns with an entire shopping bag full of options, leaving Tang both embarrassed and touched. As she hurriedly gets up to leave, Shen steps behind her and ties his jacket around her waist to discreetly cover any potential stains. Back home, he has ordered hot milk for her and with a keen eye notices that her ill-fitting shoes have caused wounds on her feet. He tenderly applies bandages himself and promises that next time, he will personally take her shopping to find the perfect, comfortable pair. While Shen tends to Tang, her brother manages to unearth some evidence against Ai, though it is limited to edited screenshots that prove her tampering. However, the damning video clip itself, stripped of its original context, remains a powerful weapon against Tang. Worried, she presents the screenshot evidence to her boss, who remains unsatisfied, demanding she clear her name entirely or face being removed from live streaming the next championship. In a final, desperate confrontation, Tang and her brother confront Ai, who arrogantly admits her role but taunts them, claiming Tang's own carelessness is to blame and that she must now suffer the consequences. Resigned to the fact that this might be her final project, Tang goes to film the shooting team's training. There, she receives a devastating phone call informing her that she has been officially labeled an R-rated live streamer and is barred from the next project due to her inability to prove her innocence. This conversation is overheard by Xiao in the restroom. Moved by Tang's plight, Xiao approaches her, offering encouragement and her unwavering belief in Tang's character, convinced she is incapable of such a despicable act. A separate crisis unfolds within the shooting team. It is discovered that a member named Chen has been secretly working as a personal shooter while on official leave, a direct violation of team rules. When Chen returns, a heated argument ensues with Shen, who threatens to expel him from the team. In a fit of rage, Chen hurls a water thermos, which is on a trajectory to hit Tang. Shen instinctively throws his arm forward, shielding her and taking the impact himself. For a professional sharpshooter, an arm injury is a catastrophic event. Amid the panic, Tang rushes him to the doctor. As she holds an ice pack to his arm, the stress of her professional ruin and now Shen's injury overwhelms her and she begins to cry. Shen notices her distress, but she hides the true depth of her worries from him. Later, they learn that Chen has decided to leave the team. The next day, the team follows him and discovers he has been visiting a hospital. Shen learns the heartbreaking truth. Chen's mother is gravely ill, and he has been lying to her about being on paid leave to fund her treatment. Touched by Chen's plight, Shen mobilizes the entire team to collect donations for his mother's medical bills. The team rallies together, and in a generous act, Ling steps forward to pay the remaining balance. The team celebrates this act of unity, and Chen is overcome with gratitude upon learning his mother's bills are settled. Shen warmly welcomes him back to the team. That evening, Xiao informs Shen about the video scandal and the immense pressure Tang is under. The next morning marks a fresh start. Chen is formally reinstated, and both he and Shen offer each other sincere apologies for their previous confrontation. Shen then takes Tang on a promised shoe shopping trip, carefully selecting a comfortable pair for her. The day of the next championship arrives, but Shen waits in vain for Tang to appear for the live stream. Instead, Ai takes over the broadcast, but her commentary fails to resonate with the audience. During a break, a distracted Shen messages Tang, urging her to come. Her absence affects his focus, a fact the coach quickly notes. When Tang finally arrives, Shen's relief is palpable and his concentration returns. Ai, surprised and annoyed by Tang's presence, begins to insult her, provoking Tang's brother to the point of fury. He urges his sister to silence Ai, threatening to handle it himself if she doesn't. Tang confronts Ai professionally, criticizing her poor commentary and focusing on performance. While Shen is occupied, Ai executes her final revenge, making the edited viral video public. Those who know Tang are shocked and her brother is livid. During her live stream, Ai directly targets Tang, shamming her on air for the viral video. In response, Tang's brother forcefully shuts off Ai's camera. After the award ceremony where Shen and Xiao receive their gold medals, Ai approaches Shen for an interview. He agrees, but midway through, he deliberately humiliates her on camera, announcing he will not give her the interview and will instead give it to someone else. Tang's brother smoothly hands the broadcasting equipment over to Tang. As Shen begins his interview with her, they have a major revelation. Her old blog and rapping account have been restored, providing access to the original, unedited video. They play the full clip for the world, exposing Ai's malicious editing and revealing the innocent, domestic scene that had actually occurred. To cement the truth and his feelings, Shen steps forward, declares himself the man in the video, and proudly announces to the world that he is Tang's boyfriend. A defeated and jealous Ai slinks away. Overnight, Tang and Shen become celebrities. With their relationship now public, Shen seizes the moment to confess his love for Tang in front of the entire world. However, overwhelmed and wrestling with internal doubts, Tang leaves without giving him an answer. She reflects on Zhang's earlier words about primal, pheromone-driven attraction and worries that Shen's feelings are merely a biological pull rather than genuine love. At the office, her boss congratulates her on her vindication and the record-breaking views, securing her job. He then gives her a piece of blunt, pragmatic advice: to not mess up her relationship with Shen, as the collaboration with the shooting team now partly rests on her shoulders. In a dramatic moment, Ai storms in, admits to her sabotage, and resigns. That evening, Tang's brother encourages her to give Shen a proper answer. At home, as Tang eats instant noodles, Shen returns. She tries to avoid him by obsessively cleaning the already spotless kitchen. Shen gently coaxes her to eat, and when she refuses, he joins her in the futile cleaning. After declaring the kitchen perfectly clean, he asks for an answer to his confession. Tang, still insecure, deflects by mentioning her foot injury and leaves. She later confesses her fears to the doctor, articulating her worry that Shen's love is based on attraction rather than memory and true connection. The doctor advises her not to overcomplicate things and to let their relationship evolve naturally. Simultaneously, a worried Shen seeks advice from Jiang, who misinterprets Tang's silence as a polite rejection, further troubling Shen. The shooting team celebrates their mixed championship win with a barbecue party. Shen's friends playfully ambush Tang, demanding to know her answer, but she flees. At the party, Shen goes out of his way to grill special food for Tang, playfully withholding it until she answers him. When she refuses, he relents and gives it to her anyway. As the party winds down, the remaining group plays Truth or Dare. Shen is dared to confess his love to the person farthest from him, but he refuses and drinks a foul-tasting punishment drink instead. Tang's turn comes repeatedly, and each time too conflicted to choose Truth or Dare, she opts for the drink, becoming thoroughly intoxicated. In her drunken state, her stutter vanishes and she unleashes her pent-up fears on Shen, referencing a forgotten past memory of fireworks and accusing him of abandoning her. She flees, with Shen following close behind. On a bridge, in a childlike metaphorical outburst, she refers to herself as Doll and Shen as Little Bear, confessing her love for Little Bear but voicing her terror that his feelings are not true love. She passes out at home. And Shen tenderly removes her shoes, tucks her in, and seeks further advice from Jiang. The next morning, hungover and hazy on the details, Tang heads to a fortune teller on her day off. Shen, having planned an elaborate gesture, meets her there dressed in a full bear costume. He leads her away, proclaiming, "I am not Shen, I am Little Bear." He dances with her and assures Doll that Little Bear truly loves Doll, not because of pheromones. In this magical, playful context, Tang's stutter and nervousness completely disappear. Shen gives her a good luck pendant for their love life and tells her she doesn't need to answer him right away. The following day, her brother deduces that things are resolved. That night, Tang looks at a photo where Shen is gazing only at her and receives a message from her brother telling Shen to always keep her happy. When Shen returns home, a joyful Tang offers to cook, but her culinary skills are lacking. Shen takes over, revealing himself to be an excellent cook, and they share a playful, affectionate meal. He suggests making their relationship official on social media and promptly changes his status on her phone to boyfriend. Tang, in turn, offers him managerial advice on handling the team. Shen, remembering Jiang's jest about obeying one's partner, agrees to follow her advice but playfully demands a reward, then kisses her hand. Their relationship continues to blossom with charming awkwardness. During running practice, Shen shields Tang from the sun with a cap. He attempts to kiss her, but she is not ready, so they share an indirect kiss on a water bottle instead, which Shen cherishes until Jiang erases the lipstick mark. In another endearing attempt at a date, Shen enlists his friends with cardboard signs, but short on time, he tricks Tang into following him by criticizing her old hairband. Their attempt at a private moment is hilariously interrupted by a perceptive little girl who declares they don't look like a married couple, forcing them to make a masked escape. Tang apologetically explains her psychological barriers to physical intimacy, and Shen, ever patient, assures her he will wait. After discussing the issue with the doctor, who links it to her stuttering, Tang begins to feel more at ease. During a photo shoot after training, Shen instinctively checks and massages her shoulder after she bumps into a net, sparking jealous teasing from his teammates. Jiang, feigning exhaustion, persuades Tang to help them secure a team dinner as a reward. Tang convinces Shen to treat the entire team, and he agrees, once again playfully asking what his reward will be. In a cute game, she blindfolds him, and when he correctly guesses her location, she evades a kiss by stuffing snacks in his mouth. Tang then introduces a 7-point checklist on one of her shirts, promising Shen a reward of his choice upon its completion. He immediately completes the first step by treating the team to dinner. The dinner strengthens team bonds, with Ling attempting to flirt with Zio, and all the members, including a now loyal Chen, expressing their heartfelt respect for Shen as their captain. Later, Tang shows Shen a dollhouse modeled after their home, telling him that living there with him is one of her happiest memories, and they express a desire to be like the doll and teddy bear inside, together forever. The story takes a pivotal turn when the coach announces Shen's selection for China's national team, a monumental step in his career. The coach credits Tang for Shen's positive personal growth. However, Tang is inwardly devastated, fearing his move to another city. She puts on a brave face, encouraging him to go, but breaks down in private, where she is comforted by Zio and given a tissue by Ling. Shen, witnessing this, misinterprets the moment and confronts Ling, who deflects by asking if Shen thinks so little of him that he would pursue Tang. At home, Tang notices Shen has not yet submitted his national team form. Her boss, worried about losing his star content, pressures Tang to create more material with Shen before he leaves. Her brother, acting as an intermediary, tells Shen that Tang constantly thinks of him. Following Ling's suggestion, Tang plans a live portrait photo shoot with him and Shen. Shen, however, grows suspicious and confronts her after her meeting with Ling. Tang deftly redirects him by reminding him of the checklist and his desired reward. She then throws herself into her work, returning home late each night, partly to avoid the pain of his impending departure. Shen, perceiving her sadness, tells her he won't go if she is this upset, but Tang, selflessly prioritizing his dream, insists he must. In a final, poignant moment before his departure, Shen moves to kiss her, but her psychological barrier resurfaces. Undeterred, Shen expresses his unwavering patience, confidently assuring her that a day will come when she will be the one to kiss him. The narrative delves deeper into the evolving complexities of Tang and Shen's relationship, set against the demanding backdrop of professional sports and personal tribulations. The following day, within the expansive and echoing space of the university gymnasium, Tang arrives accompanied by a professional cameraman. This was a direct assignment from her boss, who had emphasized the critical importance of securing a promotional photo shoot featuring both Ling and Shen before Shen's anticipated departure. Ling makes a grand entrance, attired with such formal elegance that his appearance more closely resembles that of a wedding guest than a participant in an athletic photo shoot. Shen, who had been kept entirely in the dark about this collaborative session, feels his mood instantly darken upon seeing his rival. The situation is further aggravated when Ling produces an entire suitcase filled with an assortment of outfits, and Tang, in her professional capacity, begins to assist him in selecting and preparing his looks. The sight of their collaboration ignites a fierce spark of jealousy within Shen, who reacts by storming out of the gymnasium to sit alone in a simmering, sullen silence. Recognizing his distress, Tang follows him outside to placate him. She employs a clever and enticing bargaining chip, whispering a promise of a special reward awaiting him upon their return home that evening. This proposition successfully mollifies his temper, and she gently coaxes him back inside to participate. The preparation for the shoot becomes an intimate arena for their connection. As Tang helps adjust his attire and the makeup artist does her work, their proximity creates a palpable, charged atmosphere. In a moment of playful spontaneity, she fiddles with his clothes, their closeness blurring the line between professional and personal. Once both men are camera-ready, the official shoot commences. During the session, in a gesture of pure affection, Shen reaches out, pulls Tang closer, and playfully orchestrates a stumble that sends her tumbling against his chest. They hold this pose, suspended in a moment of shared intimacy, before eventually retreating to the privacy of the changing room. There, they share several tender, romantic moments, and Tang, her voice filled with emotion, makes a heartfelt vow. "If you don't leave me, I will never leave you." Back inside the gym, the photo shoot between the two male rivals proceeds. Ling, ever perceptive, notices Shen's gaze and quips, "What are you looking at me for? Look in front, your girlfriend is standing there." The resulting photographs successfully capture both men at their most charismatic and handsome, a testament to their respective appeal. In a subsequent, deeply endearing scene, Shen is seen meticulously jotting down notes on a pad, carefully documenting Tang's likes and dislikes in a dedicated effort to understand and impress her. Noticing her particular fondness for a clean and orderly environment, he immediately embarks on a mission to make their shared apartment gleam from top to bottom. That very evening, as Tang is walking home, carrying a beautifully decorated cake intended as a surprise for Shen, her peaceful journey is shattered when she realizes a mysterious and menacing figure is following her. Consumed by terror, she frantically calls Shen for help. The pursuer is revealed to be an unhinged, obsessive fan who is on the verge of attacking her. Shen arrives in the nick of time, confronting the individual with a fierce protectiveness and chasing him away. The traumatic event leaves Tang deeply shaken and vulnerable. As Shen tenderly administers medicine to calm her frayed nerves, the emotional intensity of the moment, a potent mix of fear, relief, and overwhelming love, culminates in a pivotal breakthrough. Tang, acting on pure impulse, finally closes the distance between them and kisses him. The gesture leaves Shen in a state of stunned, joyous shock, his mind momentarily blank. The moment is sweetly juxtaposed with Tang later attempting to feed him a piece of the celebration cake, while he, still in a daze, retreats to his room to process the seismic shift in their relationship. This deeply ingrained protective instinct of his triggers a poignant memory for Tang, reminding her that even in their high school days, Shen was always profoundly concerned for her safety. Though the specific memories of their shared past were lost to him, his fundamental, caring character had remained completely unchanged. The next day brings a momentous and worrying revelation. Shen has made the monumental decision to decline his coveted position on the national team. This news sends ripples of concern and confusion through his coaches, teammates, and friends. Tang learns of this shocking development while at the gymnasium. Shen soon clarifies his revised plan to her. He will postpone joining the national team until the year directly preceding the Olympics. He takes Tang's hand, leading her to a quiet corner, and explains his reasoning with profound sincerity. "I am very worried about your safety," he confesses, his voice laced with concern. "I will stay with you 24/7. Before my passion was shooting. Now my passion is you." They seal this profound new understanding not with a kiss but with a firm, committed handshake. Later, as they walk hand in hand back into the gym, Shen's friends greet them with playful teasing, dubbing them Romeo and Juliet, with one teammate quipping, "Now we will call you Mrs. Shen, not Tang." The narrative then shifts forward as Shen's team prepares to travel to a distant city for an intensive winter training camp, where they will spend the entire season honing their skills. Tang is scheduled to accompany them to provide live streaming coverage. On the day of departure, Shen waits patiently by the bus for a tardy Tang, who eventually arrives and takes her seat beside him. During the long journey, Shen seizes the opportunity to create a romantic moment, first feigning illness to rest his head on her shoulder, and later coaxing her to post photos of them together on social media, subtly making their relationship more public. Upon arrival at the winter training base, they discover another university's team is also in residence. Among their rivals is the same individual Shen had soundly defeated at the championship's start, who immediately begins to misbehave with Tang, prompting Shen to step in without hesitation and protect his girlfriend. A new and influential figure then enters the scene, Mr. Shu, a highly renowned and charismatic sports broadcaster. Tang, a longtime admirer of his work, is thrilled when he not only recognizes her from her live streams but also offers her genuine praise. Tensions, however, quickly surface. A heated argument erupts between the captains of the two rival teams, which Mr. Shu deftly and publicly mediates. Grateful, Tang thanks him and they engage in a brief, friendly conversation that Shen observes from a distance, his displeasure immediately evident. His jealousy manifests as cold anger towards Tang, to the point where he initially refuses to let her into their shared room. He later explains to her, "I am not narrow-minded at all, but I don't think Mr. Shu is a good person, so I want you to avoid him." Distressed by Shen's anger and wanting to mend the rift, Tang seeks advice from Ling, who suggests she give Shen a handmade gift to win back his favor. Ironically, even in his anger, Shen's care for Tang remains unwavering. He sends warm, self-heating pads to her through Jiang to combat the bitter cold of the training facility. When Mr. Shu later spots Tang walking to the local market and offers her a lift, she politely but firmly declines, mindful of Shen's feelings and the tension it would cause. Meanwhile, the scheming Ai re-enters the narrative, actively attempting to ingratiate herself with Mr. Shu in hopes of securing a job with his broadcasting network. The plot thickens when Mr. Shu sends Tang a message late at night, vaguely offering his help whenever you need it. The next day, Shen pulls Tang into his room, talks through their issues, and in a characteristically practical yet deeply caring gesture, takes her jacket and inserts a fresh warm pad inside to shield her from the chill. At a formal ceremony held at the winter camp, Mr. Shu again approaches Tang during her live stream preparations, presenting her with a new high-quality set of headphones after noticing hers had fallen and broken. The ceremony proceeds to honor Xiao's past achievements, and when her name is called, Ling stands and applauds with conspicuous enthusiasm, though Xiao pointedly remains indifferent. Shen then gives a stirring speech declaring to the assembled crowd, "I had promised someone to win an Olympic gold medal and I will definitely fulfill that," his gaze briefly finding Tang's. In a separate, heartfelt endeavor, Tang decides to craft a set of personalized, DIY bullets as a unique and meaningful gift for Shen. She examines his pistol and standard-issue bullets under the pretext of gathering footage for a video, but her secret project is interrupted when Xiao publicly challenges Shen to a mirror shooting competition, a test of skill where shooters must aim using only a mirror's reflection. Confident of victory, Xiao insists the event be live-streamed. Shen accepts the challenge, and to the delight of his team, emerges victorious, leading to boisterous celebrations. Mr. Shu arrives amidst the cheer to formally inform Tang of an upcoming broadcasters meeting to which she is invited. Shen, overhearing their conversation, pointedly bumps into Mr. Shu on his way out, his displeasure clear and confrontational. Meanwhile, a vindictive Jiao, fuming from his defeat, conspires with Mr. Shu to bring down Shen and his team. Shen's anger towards Tang over her continued interaction with Mr. Shu flares up again, but she diligently follows him to a secluded, peaceful riverside. They're away from the pressures of the camp. They enjoy a long, quiet walk and valuable quality time together, successfully mending their temporary rift. In a parallel subplot, Ling makes repeated earnest attempts to capture Xiao's attention, but she consistently rebuffs him, stating coldly, "We are both very different. The relationship we thought of and you want, consider it over before it even starts." She leaves him standing alone, heading in the same direction as Tang and Shen. Ling, in his dejection, trips and injures his foot, but Xiao does not look back. Tang, ever compassionate, goes to check on him, but Ling, undeterred, brushes off his pain and continues his determined pursuit of Xiao. After he leaves, Tang and Shen find a moment of levity and connection playing with a cute, wild hedgehog they discover, which Tang immediately adores and lovingly feeds snacks from her pocket. Later, while Tang is in her hotel room meticulously preparing the DIY bullets, her boss calls, insisting she attend an important broadcasting dinner on his behalf as he cannot go. Tang is instantly conflicted, trapped between her inability to refuse her boss and her dread of Shen's cert reaction. We then see Ai happily getting into Mr. Shu's car, believing she is his guest for the party, only for him to receive a call from Tang, who has reluctantly decided to attend. Mr. Shu promptly and callously ejects Ai from his car to make room to pick up Tang instead. At the dinner, conversations uncomfortably drift towards Tang's old, scandalous live stream, the very one I had maliciously edited. Seizing the opportunity to cause chaos, Ai sends an anonymous photo to Shen of Tang getting out of Mr. Shu's car at the hotel. Shen immediately drops everything and rushes to the location, arriving after the other guests have departed, just in time to find Mr. Shu attempting to sexually harass a cornered and terrified Tang. Shen intervenes with explosive force, slapping Mr. Shu and rescuing Tang. Outside, a furious and trembling Shen confronts her, his voice tight with anger and fear. "I warned you, stay away from this person." The next day, a still upset Shen seeks solitude at the riverside. Tang follows him and patiently explains her boss's direct order, which Shen, though unhappy, reluctantly accepts as a professional obligation. Later, Mr. Shu, finding Tang alone once more, attempts to harass her again. A panicked and nervous Tang, seeing Shen passing by, runs to him and clings to him for safety and protection. Mr. Shu issues a vague but threatening warning to them both before leaving, then follows up with a blackmailing message to Tang, threatening to further ruin her reputation. A deeply worried Tang calls her boss about quitting live streaming altogether, but he refuses her request. The immense stress creates small, heated arguments between Tang and Shen during training sessions, leading a disappointed and overwhelmed Tang to attempt to pack her bags and leave. Shen, realizing her distress, abandons his training mid-session to sprint after her and stop her, finally understanding that she is sacrificing her own well-being to prevent any conflict between him and Mr. Shu that might harm his career. Shen encourages her, vowing to handle the situation, and spends quality time with her to lift her spirits, later discussing her deep-seated psychological barriers with his doctor in the hope of finding a solution. Tang also confides in Xiao, showing her the threatening messages from Mr. Shu, and Xiao, outraged, vows to confront him herself. During a subsequent live stream, Mr. Shu deliberately strides in front of Tang's camera, disrupting her broadcast and openly teasing her. Shen immediately moves to intervene physically, but Tang stops him, preventing a public confrontation that would certainly be used against them. Xiao then confronts Mr. Shu privately, secretly activating her phone's recording function, but he discovers her ploy, boasting, "I have used many such dirty tricks," and dismisses her advances with a cruel, "You are not my type. I have no interest in you." Tang's boss eventually learns of the full situation and confronts Mr. Shu himself, who brazenly admits to previously harassing another intern, leading to a physical altercation between the two men. As Mr. Shu leaves, he encounters Ling, who knows him from a previous context. Xiao witnesses their friendly interaction and mistakenly assumes Ling is cut from the same corrupt cloth. When Ling later brings Xiao a beautiful dress as a peace offering, she angrily rejects it, accusing him of having disgusting friends. The entire group then bands together to formulate a plan against Mr. Shu. While they initially lack concrete evidence, they manage to uncover his secret connection to Ai. Shen confronts Mr. Shu directly, bluffing that he has compiled damning evidence and giving him one final chance to leave the camp voluntarily. Mr. Shu decides to depart but secretly plots a final act of revenge against Tang and Shen. During a quiet dinner together, Shen, remembering his doctor's advice to offer constant praise, overdoes it to the point where his compliments feel artificial and make Tang uncomfortable. At training, Jiang shows the team a vlog that contains provocative comments about Shen, sparking a heated argument and a physical fight between the two teams. The coach breaks it up, angrily ends the training session, and announces the official competition will begin the next day. Jiao, still conspiring with the departed Mr. Shu, plots to distract Shen during the event. During the shooting competition, in a chaotic moment, Shen is accidentally grazed by a stray bullet on his foot. Despite the painful injury, he insists on completing his shooting round before allowing anyone to take him to the hospital, an act of sheer dedication that inspires his team to a rallied victory. In the hospital, Shen requests that Tang stay with him, and she diligently cares for him, feeding him and keeping him company throughout his recovery. Tang, seeing an opportunity, later advocates for Ling to Xiao, assuring her he is a genuinely good person. Xiao, insecure due to her lack of past romantic experience, finds truth and wisdom in Tang's words. In a moment of vulnerability and curiosity, Tang asks Shen if he had any girlfriends in high school. He, remembering nothing of that time, tells her with touching sincerity, "You are my first love," a statement that troubles Tang as it highlights the perplexing, selective nature of his amnesia, seemingly erasing only her. One rainy night, a sudden power outage at the hospital triggers Shen's deep-seated fear, causing him to hide under the bed. Tang finds him and joins him there in the comforting darkness, and in that safe, intimate space, they share a passionate kiss, marking a significant milestone as Tang's psychological barrier finally, completely dissipates. Elated, she shares this progress with the doctor, and also recounts past events, including the harrowing story of how she and Shen were once accosted by robbers who took her hostage and sent Shen to get money. He never returned because he was involved in a serious accident on the way. In the present, Tang and Shen conspire to reconcile Ling and Xiao. Shen talks to Ling, helping him realize that his pride and misunderstandings are destroying his chance at a relationship. Humbled, Ling apologizes to Xiao, who, seeing his genuine sincerity, finally accepts. He then takes her downstairs where he has orchestrated a surprise, romantic marriage proposal which she happily accepts, her face radiant with joy. After Shen's foot heals and he is discharged, the team welcomes him back with open arms and joy. Tang presents him with her handmade bullets, a gift he cherishes deeply for its thoughtfulness. Ling and Xiao join them, and the two couples enjoy a rare, happy moment together. In a quiet moment, Tang asks Shen about the old watch he always carries. He explains he knows little about it, only that it was with him after his accident, and he feels a compelling need to keep it close, though its history remains a mystery to him. Inspired by Xiao's influence, Ling decides to take his father's business seriously, signaling his maturation. Witnessing this, Shen tells Tang, "From now on, I will also become serious about my future because you will be with me in my future." Tang, in turn, prepares a heartfelt farewell gift for Ling as he officially retires from competitive shooting to focus on his new path. The coach announces that the day's competition will determine which teams advance to the final round. Jiao, still in league with Mr. Shu via phone, boasts that he has got all the material needed to finally bring Shen down. As Tang and Shen are seen happily discussing plans to meet each other's parents, Jiao approaches Shen and venomously reveals that he once lost his memory. He cruelly insinuates that Shen, in his forgotten past, had profoundly hurt Tang, asking, "Do you know how old your history together is?" This sows seeds of deep doubt and confusion in Shen's mind, which are fertilized when Jiao sends him an old class photo from their school days, irrefutably confirming they were classmates. Shen, now tormented by questions and a growing sense of dread, confronts his doctor, demanding to know what kind of treatment Tang was receiving and why this was kept from him, but the doctor remains evasive, adhering to patient confidentiality. Jiao then delivers a devastating package of evidence, a yellowed newspaper clipping detailing an incident where a girl named Tang was sexually assaulted by robbers, and an edited video that implied her boyfriend, Shen, had abandoned her under the pretext of getting money and never returned due to his accident. Shattered and consumed by a toxic guilt, Shen confronts Tang, his voice breaking as he asks, "Was I such a terrible person that I left you at the mercy of those bandits and ran away myself?" He internalizes this perceived monstrous failure, retreating into himself and practicing shooting robotically, his mind completely detached from his body. He ignores all of Tang's attempts to call him or coax him to eat. Mr. Shu, understanding Shen's fractured psychological state from afar, has instructed Jiao to use deliberate gestures during a crucial competition to trigger him. During the event, Jiao stands behind Tang, making subtle taunting gestures that only Shen can see, thereby increasing the psychological pressure on him until he cracks. Shen abruptly lowers his pistol, leaves the range without a word, and withdraws completely, causing his team to lose for the first time in his career. A devastated Tang tries to reassure him that Jiao lied, pleading, "Believe in me and in yourself." But he is too far gone, unreachable in his despair. Tang's brother then reveals he saw Jiao talking to Shen right before his breakdown. The group of friends deduces a conspiracy and decides to search Jiao's locker, creating a dramatic diversion by starting a fake fight with the other team to do so. They find evidence linking Jiao to Mr. Shu, who is seen celebrating their successful manipulation of Shen from a distance. A despondent Shen disappears from the camp entirely. Tang eventually finds him sitting alone in a remote abandoned building, completely catatonic and unresponsive. Xiao manages to coax him away by promising to take him to a place where you will reach far away from time, a phrase that somehow penetrates his stupor. Meanwhile, Mr. Shu launches a vicious smear campaign online, blaming Shen's catastrophic performance on his distracting relationship with Tang. Her boss assures her he will handle the PR fallout and grants her immediate leave. Tang journeys to a remote, peaceful village where Ling and Xiao have taken Shen. He initially shuts her out, refusing to answer the door, but she waits patiently outside all night, her voice soft and pleading. He eventually lets her in, and she finds him regress to his childhood coping mechanism, sleeping under the bed. She shows him their old high school photos, pointing out the pure, unadulterated love in his eyes as he looked at her, and presents the pendant he gave her as tangible proof of his true feelings. "You didn't betray me," she insists, her voice firm with conviction, before collapsing from exhaustion and emotional strain. Shen discovers she has developed a very high fever and tenderly nurses her back to health. The next morning, Tang finds Shen staring at his own reflection in a mirror as if he doesn't recognize the person staring back. The doctor warns this could be a severe dissociative state, urging Tang to stay relentlessly positive and supportive. Determined to uncover the truth, Tang contacts Shen's grandfather, who provides old letters and clues suggesting Shen had not run away from the robbers but was actually rushing back to help her when his accident occurred. She immediately shares this revelation with Shen, and in a courageous and painful decision takes him back to the scene of the traumatic incident, hoping to trigger his memory. It is a deeply agonizing experience for Tang, but she endures it for his sake. She revisits their old haunts, their favorite spots, and their high school, patiently recounting shared stories, helping Shen feel lighter, more connected, and less burdened by the past. Following the doctor's risky advice to potentially trigger his memory by recreating the event's emotional core, Tang waits for him at the scene at night. Shen finds her but still remembers nothing. She then fulfills a long-held high school dream by watching a spectacular fireworks display with him, replacing a bad memory with a beautiful one. They practice for meeting each other's parents, and on New Year's Eve, Shen accompanies Tang to her family home where her parents warmly and wholeheartedly approve of him. Shen's parents, living abroad, also express their liking for Tang during a long, happy video call. A visibly recovered and focused Shen returns to training, his spirit renewed. Jiao, however, makes one final attempt to conspire with Mr. Shu, but due to Ling's vigilance, he is caught and publicly disqualified from the team as punishment. After the winter training concludes, Tang and Shen return to their sweet apartment, their relationship stronger than ever. They collectively gather irrefutable evidence against Mr. Shu, and Tang successfully exposes his predatory behavior and scheming in a powerful, widely viewed video. A touching farewell is held for Ling as he leaves the team for his business career, for which Tang prepares a heartfelt and nostalgic video tribute. Shen's team travels to another city for a final, high-stakes competition. While there, Shen is slightly injured while heroically saving a child from a runaway vehicle, an incident that eerily mirrors his past accident and finally, fully unlocks his complete memory. His joy and relief at remembering everything are matched only by Tang's tearful elation. At the high-profile competition, clash with a jealous foreign shooter creates a new, intense rivalry. The two couples Shen and Tang, Ling and Xiao, reunite and enjoy their time together, a picture of hard-won happiness. Tang and Shen decide to take the next step in their physical relationship once he is officially selected for the Olympics. The pivotal national competition begins with Tang providing excellent, insightful coverage. In the first round, Shen is under immense pressure and ranks a disappointing 7th, but manages to advance. He improves his standing in the second round, but a foreign rival, seeking an unfair advantage, falsely accuses him of doping. The mandatory test results unambiguously prove his innocence. It was later discovered the rival had tampered with Shen's water bottle, but Tang had fortuitously brought him her own bottle of water beforehand, once again acting as his guardian angel. Shen, with his focus razor-sharp, goes on to win the entire competition in a triumphant, emotional celebration. Tang later publishes a best-selling book about her life and their love story, titled Hello Sharpshooter. The ultimate news arrives. Shen is formally selected for the Olympic team while Xiao is not. Ling, ever the devoted partner, consoles her by proposing, "Olympics or not, but we can celebrate our wedding right now." With his memories now fully restored, Shen reveals a profound truth to Tang. "I loved you, Tang, even before you knew it." He recounts how in high school, Tang had coveted an expensive watch she couldn't afford. Shen, wanting to give her the world, worked multiple part-time jobs for months to save up and buy it for her. But the day he intended to present it to her was the day of the fateful robbery and his subsequent accident. In a deeply symbolic and romantic gesture that brings their long and arduous journey full circle, He finally presents her with that very same carefully preserved watch, and with it, his heartfelt, tearful marriage proposal, promising her a future as intertwined as their past.